that down a little bit. But I am going to ask you to tell this story once more. But we want to let people know that you're focused on childhood cancer and helping these families. But let's start at the beginning. Let's talk about your son. Okay. Let's talk about Caleb.
So who we are and how we started was in 2011, my son Caleb was diagnosed with T-cell lymphoblastic lymphoma, and we began our 3-year journey of battling cancer. And so I don't think I can ever tell the story all the way good, but he was just an amazing little boy. You always know I try to do interviews and lives in his room because we keep the essence of his life going. But he was just loving, he was giving. He's always wanting to give back to our family, to his school. When he was diagnosed with cancer, that was one of his biggest challenges for himself, is that he wanted to always stay active in school and things of that nature. So after a 3-year battle with cancer, he passed away on Father's Day 2013, and we just had that moment last month in June. But very, very, very outgoing kid. He was just loved by so many. And even now, if you go to our website, people who I meet and raise awareness for cancer, when they meet us and they go to the website, that's the first thing they always say is, oh my gosh, we love his smile. And so he was just one of those kids that he's touching lives, even, now that he's no longer here. So that's Caleb, and that's our story.
And I had the same reaction.
I think even when sometimes I have to go in there and look at it myself, and I'm like, wow, like it's on my phone, actually, the same pictures on my phone case. So sometimes I just hit the thing and I just look at it, and it just brings, oh my goodness, it just brings all those wonderful memories back. Even though we had those challenging times, it brings those wonderful memories back of him in his life. So
yes. There's some feedback. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to get through. There we go. Yes, I had the same reaction to a smile. It's infectious. And just to let everybody know, BELAC in the BELAC Foundation, that's Caleb backwards. And he is, of course, the founder, and continuing the love, because that's your mission, isn't it? To help these families who are going through the same kind of circumstances you went through.
Correct. And so when we started the organization, of course, with any organization, there's planning, and we wanted to just be different. We didn't want to be another organization that came together after a tragedy to do what someone else was doing. We wanted to do different things. And our number one concern, even as we battled cancer, was there's not awareness for this disease. There's hundreds of thousands of cancers in kids, and there's just no awareness for it. So we put together, a listing of things that we would want to do. But I always tell people, our number one sole purpose of existence is awareness, because if you're not aware of who we are and what we do, how are you going to be aware of childhood cancer? And so then we brought in the factor of that we provide financial services and we assist them down the road. Just here recently, we've been following up with families. We've lost about 5 kids in the last month or so. And so, yeah, awareness is definitely key when we're trying to, reach the masses.
So give a couple of examples of the kinds of things you're doing for these families.
First and foremost is financial assistance. So we provide financial assistance with utilities. So that would be their light bill, their water bill, their gas bill, any of those type of bills. We provide gas for cars, because a lot of them travel. A lot of families are not local most of the time. They come from miles away, whether it's 20 miles, 2 hours. They have to drive back and forth. Sometimes they have to live here in the hospital. So we provide food, Walmart cards, things of that nature. We provide paper products, toiletries, and things of that nature that people don't think about. You need, everyday needs. So we assist them as best we can with food, gas, utilities, and things of that nature. And then you probably can't see it, but I have one, this is actually our support. We call it a connect group. We don't call it a grief group, but we have a bunch of people, men and women, who we connect monthly to just talk about things that are going on in life, not necessarily our children that have passed, But if there's people in there who want to share and talk about or get information on how to cope, we have those monthly meetings every single month.
And what you were referencing that people can't see is your shirt. And so people know if they go to your website, the belacfoundation.org, they'll see a few products that you sell to raise money, including this beautiful shirt.
Actually, yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because the shirt is actually on there, but the information about the Support Connect group is on there as well. Yep. You're on top of your stuff.
So you have the 5K coming up.
Yeah.
Tell us about the opportunities leading up to the event, though, because I know you are accepting vendors and other like sponsors and things up to that point too.
So the 5K is this month, July the 24th, and we are still accepting registrations for participants. But the cool thing is you don't have to live in Florida. You can actually register virtually, so you can participate no matter where you are in the city or the state. We are still getting registrations. We got registrations this morning. And so we are still accepting vendors up until the week of. We take sponsors all the way through, because the sponsors just have to fill out a form and send in their payment. So always registration, always vendors, and then the sponsorship, and then just share on your social media or, you know, throughout your organization. If you're back in the office, I know a lot of people still work from home, but there's just numerous ways, and always call if you have any questions.
Now, as far as participating in the event itself, last year you did have to go to a sort of hybrid, virtual, in person. What is it going to be like this year?
So this year we're back in person, like I said, but we still will have social distancing in place. We still will have hand sanitizing stations. The vendors will have their own separate areas where everybody can come and see their tables. We will have mask requirements. We have custom masks for sale, and we will have regular masks. Everyone will have to wear a mask. And it's not just for us, but the park is actually enforcing it as well. So, and we'll just enjoy the day as we always do.
I remember speaking to you last year, by the way, about masks, and just making that point that although for most of us this was a new thing to have to wear masks, really for families that have a cancer patient, this is not unusual, is it?
It's not unusual. Everybody was like, I can't wait to get back to normal. I can't wait to get back to normal. And it's so ironic, because I still have in Ziploc bags, we would always carry, when Caleb was living, we would always carry masks in Ziploc bags. So I still have his mask in little separate Ziploc bags in our closet. And it was funny, because I was looking through stuff the other day, and I said it's not something new to us, because if you're a cancer patient, you're used to gloves, you're used to masks, you're used to sanitizing and wiping down and washing your hands, because once they start treatment, any little thing could cause them to have, you know, a reaction and a setback.
It's sort of enlightening, isn't it, to the rest of us that, you know what, there are people who need us to wear masks.
Yeah.
Every day.
And even now, it's hard, because people have been masked for so long, and they're like, I'm tired of it. You know, I don't want to wear a mask. But I think we need to learn to become selfless and just do it, because sometimes it's not for you, it's for other people. And those other people really, not just kids with cancer, but people in general who have health conditions, they really need us to be cautious in the things that we do daily.
All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about the actual 5K. Do people register? How does it work?
So on our Facebook page, we have the link that you can register for the event, and that's our Caleb Solomon Williams Facebook page. There's an actual link on there. You just click on it, and it takes you straight to the registration page. Once you get on the registration page, it gives you, I think, 4 or 5 different ways that you can pay. So we have all those options on there, and then it'll send us a form. It'll send us an email to let us know that you have registered for the event. If you want to be a sponsor, the sponsor information is on our website. And then if you want to be a vendor, you can just email us or call us, and we can provide you with the paperwork, and you can become a vendor.
So what's it like out there? And by the way, I guess let's mention again that it is at the Bill Frederick Park. So what's it like out there? Good time, I imagine.
So from last year's event, we did go out because we had to do it virtual. Our family went out and we did the run, but they have so many changes that are going on. If you've never been to the park, I always encourage people to go out. It's beautiful. You can boat, fish, bike, skate, whatever you need to do, swim, playground, a nature park, animals. They have everything at this one park, and it's beautiful. But the beautiful thing about where we are located in the park is they've just paved some areas where there's a lot of dirt when you walk in. They did a lot of pavement, paving the area, and they're doing renovations. They're installing more bathrooms where typically you would have to go from one space to another to find a bathroom. They're trying to put bathrooms closer to the pavilions in the different areas. So they're beautiful. They've been beautifying the park since COVID happened.
Okay, well, I had you explain what this is all about and about the 5K. Let me give you an opportunity for anything you want to remind us about.
Well, for those of you who don't know, September is National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And so we ask every year that people would wear gold. You see the yellow gold that we wear in our organizational colors. It's for childhood cancer awareness. And we just ask you to become aware of childhood cancer. Where you live, where you work, and you play, because where I live versus where Beth lives, we're not sure who's aware of childhood cancer or not. So we just ask you to support us, even if it's not financially, share it so other people can be aware of kids' cancer.
It's interesting, isn't it, that we do think about the prevalence of cancer, and we hear all of these big, long names of cancers, right?
Yes.
But we don't always necessarily picture that child that has cancer, and we're not necessarily aware of how children are impacted. Do you find that? Do you get a lot of questions?
We still get people, and we just started in June. We've had about 3 events that we were back out in the streets. I call them, I tell them, I say, we're out here in these streets. And so when we're raising awareness, that's some of the things when you talk about it, they be like, oh, what do you do? And then when we say a childhood cancer foundation, they're like, huh? And they'll always reflect back to, oh, my family member had breast cancer, or my something had breast cancer. But I've never heard, I've never seen a kid who've had cancer. So it's like, wow, it's so big, but it's so little.
And the treatments for children, a lot of them are drawn from adult treatments. And the fact is they have some longer term impact, don't they?
And so with a lot of the drugs that the children take, they are the same drugs that adults consume, and they're harsher on their bodies because they're kids. But then a lot of the kids have long-term issues going down the road, even if they survive it, down the road, it's just like harsh for their body. They have to constantly have tests done for so many years to make sure that different things aren't happening. You think you're in a good place one moment, and then, the next moment they're back in the hospital because something else has happened because of the medications that they're taking. Those medications have these kids, like, you've seen the picture of the kid in the toilet. It's horrible medications.
I know long term that what you're hoping for is that all of these cancers are eliminated. But for now, you're trying to help out those families. So once again, tell us how you're helping these families through this awful experience. And by the way, explain to us a little bit about what these families are going through. You mentioned the traveling earlier, but really help us to empathize with what they're enduring.
So a lot of people, when they do find out about kids with cancer, I tell them it's nice for them to have the Make-A-Wishes and all of those nice Disney trips and things of that nature, because you want the kids to feel happy and feel, they still can be a part of things. But for us, nobody talks about the late nights that you have to stay up, or the days that you have to go to the clinics each and every day for treatments or appointments or scans or the medications that they have to take. And the number one thing that happens, I don't care who you are, when your child is diagnosed with cancer, guess what? Somebody has to stop working. It might not be a permanent thing. It could be a part-time thing, but somebody has to be that person that's going to be there, because treatment is typically every single day. You have 5-day treatments and then you start the next week. When you first are diagnosed, we were in the hospital for 45 straight days. And so people never talk about the financial burden of it. We had a application a few days ago. The rent is $1,275. Nobody ever talks about these families aren't able to pay their rent, their car notes, even with COVID coming up, happening. People don't talk about the financial portion of it. And even the medication, sometimes the insurances don't cover the full amount. And so what's the balance that you're left with? Sometimes you don't have 10 or 20 extra dollars to support that medication. So what do? Do you not get the medication and leave it? Or, what is a parent left to do? So with that, we harp on people to say it's needed, because these families, I've gone through every file that we've had in the last couple of weeks, and it's just amazing that there's families out here that really need support, and people aren't aware of that.
Well, let's remind people that one way to help out is to participate in the BLAC Annual Childhood Cancer 5K on July 24th.
Yay. Yes. Participate, sponsor the event, register for the event, come out, enjoy the day. If you can't come out in person, we would love to have you virtually. We will send a Zoom link out so people will have the link to, wherever they are, they can go biking and different things. But just come out and participate no matter which way it is. And we will definitely be honored to see you.
And all people have to do is go to your Facebook page.
Correct. Facebook page. And it's on the link. And it's I think it's BLAC Annual Childhood Cancer. If you put in BLAC Annual, it'll pop up. And it has our new logo on it. We have some new logos. So it has a little boy on it. It's like a meme of Caleb. So it has a little boy on it. But you just click on it and the link to register is right in the event. If they don't have Facebook, then they could always call or email us and we can send them out the link to fill out the paperwork.
And a special bonus, when people look at it, they're going to see Caleb's beautiful smile. It's a nice little bonus there.
Happy 16th birthday, Caleb.
Thank you so much for joining us, Ann Perrell. Ann Perrell Williams, Caleb's mom, telling us about the BLAC Annual Childhood Cancer 5K that you can learn about online on Facebook. This is taking place on July 24th. I'm Beth Perrell. All right.